But he got to learn it with the feet so he knows when and why he's taking that risk. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yeah.
That's where people like myself come in because I understand that. They will say, why you trying? The reason I don't say much more, Stephen, because I don't never want guys to think I'm trying to.
You hating on him.
I'm trying to take your
this is knowledge.
That's all it is.
Was particularly anxious to fight Shakur because it's frankly probably a fight that Shakur is going to win.
Haney, you know, Conor Ben, like there's a lot of fights that Shakur can like be involved in and beat all these dudes, man. Beat all of them. Has a chance of beating all of them, right? Solidifying, you know, his mark in the sport, you know, being, you know, the great of his generation.
2 unbeaten boxing stars, 1 ring, 1 champion to prove who's truly the best. Stevenson versus Haney, who will dominate? Stay tuned, you don't want to miss a second. Boxing fans and experts are divided on who would win if Shakur Stevenson faced Devin Haney. Both are young, unbeaten champions with smart, technical styles. Stevenson is famous for his defense and precise timing, while Haney uses speed, sharp jabs, and excellent ring control.
I actually don't know. I mean, my mind says Shakur probably win. But then I see the great work that he did with Loma, or that he fight with Loma, and overcome a lot of different obstacles in that fight. It could be hard for Shakur. Shakur, right? Shakur Stevenson. As they call it. It'd be hard for him for the long range, the height, the how big he is, stuff like that. And then what makes me think even more is when Shakur said spar with Crawford, and he had lots of problems with Crawford. Even though Crawford wasn't punching him hard or whatever, but you know what he had problems with? He had problems with the long arms and the height of Crawford. So he couldn't counterpunch like he wanted to. With Crawford. Crawford probably wouldn't hit him hard, but it's different, you know, he's longer and stuff, it's harder. So that could be a problem for Shakur that we don't know.
Devin Haney has openly called out both Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis for his next big fights. He said a fight with Stevenson would be one of the biggest in boxing, and after that, he wants to face Davis. Haney shared this challenge on social media right after Stevenson's latest victory.
The dream confirms what I've been saying. 3-division world champion, former undisputed lightweight, former WBC junior welterweight, and reigning WBO welterweight world champion, first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, superstar boxer, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, Devin the Dream Haney, 33 wins, no loss and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He calls out another first ballot Hall of Famer of his era. Ironically enough, Devin Haney is 27, and the person he calls out is 28 years old, who's another first ballot Hall of Famer, Olympic silver medalist, 4-division world champion, former unified super featherweight, who simultaneously up until yesterday held the WBC 135-pound title and the WBO 140-pound junior welterweight title. At the same time, superstar boxer, 4-division champion, who will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Shakur Stevenson, who is 25 wins, no losses, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout. So Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, as I said, and Devin Haney confirmed it, as you see there, this is the next super fight in the sport of boxing.
Both fighters rely on skill and strategy rather than raw punching power. Boxing analysts believe their matchup would be highly tactical and full of clever moves.
Haney, of course, calling out Shakur Stevenson. Shakur saying, anytime you want it, we can get it done. But a little bit of this, a little bit of yakking back and forth, right? I mean, how awesome would that be? These two names,
well, we've been talking
stunning
about
this fight for a while.
Tantalizing.
It's
but
tantalizing.
now, I tell you,
it's juicy.
I tell you, this fight now is even
is even more juicy than it was the first time around when they were talking about it. When they were talking about it the first time around, Haney was red hot as an undisputed lightweight champion, and Shakur was the boogeyman who was very good, but was having trouble locking in those big
insider
games.
Boogeyman.
Right. I gotta be honest, man. Like this could, if this happens right now, this is the right timing too, because both are at a good moment in their careers.
Very high.
It's actually,
and there's a title on the line.
It's actually simmered better than it had back.
Paulie Mullen AI says now is the perfect time for a Stevenson versus Haney fight. Both are established champions with strong reputations. Their styles, skills, and achievements make this fight huge for fans and important for the sport.
It was really, really something that you wanted to see, but now because of Shakur's recent performance and Haney still being undefeated and having righted the ship, winning as an underdog against Brian Norman, I rate that. I rate when you take on a fight as an underdog and you win it. I rate that. You know, that's why Haney, for me, got into the circle of trust, because he wasn't trying to milk the whole business like Gervonta Davis has. So he's taking on these kind of challenges. He's winning them. He built himself up to that level to now, okay, take on all comers. Win or lose, take on all comers. He's got that win over Norman as an underdog. You can say what you want post in hindsight. In foresight, a lot of people were picking against Haney. He gets that win. Shakur, in the meantime, makes his name bigger. Got to pump those numbers up, and he pumped those numbers up by winning the Shakur the Teofimo Lopez fight. Now, you know what? Okay, now there's an interest from both fighters. A lot more money, a lot more at stake, a lot more, again, ambition. I like to use that word, ambition, today. And I think a lot more people will be interested in it than the first.
Stevenson and Haney have known each other for many years. Both started as young prospects in the amateur circuit before turning pro. Over time, they have followed each other's careers closely, gaining respect as top-level fighters.
I like Shakur. I think he's good. I've been knowing Shakur since I was a kid, so I always knew that he was good. I knew that he would be at the top one day. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, me and Shakur, we've been sparring since, bro, I think my first sparring session we were like 12 years old, maybe a little bit older, but something like around there, maybe like 13 years old. So it's been times when he got the best of me and I got the best of him. But I cannot, judge him off of those sparring sessions. I know he's gotten better, just like I can't judge Ryan off of the fights we fought when we were kids, because I know that he's gotten better and so have I. If you judge it off a sparring session, I mean, you're gonna be in for a long night, especially a sparring session when I was.
Roy Jones Jr. thinks Stevenson needs to improve his footwork. He says Shakur sometimes moves too far out of range after defending, which makes him miss chances to counterattack.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but he got to learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this, because this is going to mean a lot for him. Mm-hmm. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. Mm-hmm. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You understand me? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I'd say. I felt like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that this is somebody got to teach him. And I would teach him if they ever brought him to me to teach him. But he got to understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
When you say something bad, they take it as criticism.
Right.
No, son, you got to understand how to not jump. Okay, people know what the thing that dig the hole, the excavator, right? Yeah. If you move that thing back too far, you can't reach the job. Right. It's got to work, but it got to stay on the job while it work. You can't take it out of, if you working with this, because this part keeps it on the job, the feet. This do the work. If you take the thing and move it back, it's off the job, it can't work no more. Right. So if you move it back every time off the job, it ain't gonna ever get no work done. So now it's gonna become boring. Right, it ain't doing it.
Jones explains that staying a little closer to opponents would help Stevenson land more counters and take advantage of mistakes more effectively.
It started on the hold and it moved to another. When we gonna get a pawn dug? We're not, because it's taking off the job too much. You gotta leave it on the job for it to get a pawn dug. And that's his only thing. He a great fighter. He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He gonna be a great fighter. He just gotta figure out how to use them feet a little different.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet. That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. Mm-hmm. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You gotta cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that, or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he not gonna engage until he wants to engage. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
Not right now.
the ratings, you gotta be able to engage when they need you to engage. If you can't, then you're gonna become.
Despite this, Stevenson is confident he can outbox Haney. He believes his defense, speed, and accurate counter-punching give him the edge. Stevenson says that by controlling distance, avoiding Haney's jab, and picking his shots carefully, he can dominate the fight and prove he is the better boxer.
Me, personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
Stevenson also wants a rehydration clause if he moves up to 147 pounds for a fight. This means both fighters would enter the ring at a similar weight, preventing one from gaining a big size advantage overnight. This shows Stevenson's strategic thinking. He relies not only on skill but also on smart negotiation to keep the fight fair.
If y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clause. I don't even do that. But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going there? So any of y'all want to fight me at 147?
Yeah, rehydration.
10 pounds.
10-pound rehydration. Like the IBF rule, basically.
You gotta understand, that means on fight night, when we get in the ring, they're gonna be 157, maybe 158.
Max.
No bigger than 160 that night.
Right.
I'm cool with that.
So if we could get it like, all right, like the IBF rule, 10-pound rehydration.
Yes, but think about it. If there's no rehydration clause, these guys gonna get it up to 170 pounds.
Yeah, 175.
I'm in the 140s on fight night.
Yeah.
So if I'm 140, they 170. Bro, what am I in here wrestling around with these?
Right.
Come on, bro.
How did you feel at 140 though? Like compared to 35, did you feel any difference? Or was it like in your body, like does it feel any different at all or was it the same?
Both of them I'm gonna be straight because the weight is easy to.
Devin Haney's father and trainer, Bill Haney, is strongly against any rehydration limits. He believes fighters should rehydrate naturally and fight at their strongest without restrictions. This disagreement could make negotiations difficult if Stevenson insists on a rehydration clause.
He's on the list. Is that a fight you guys are seeking, or are you leaving it alone since he's saying that it would require Devin to get a rehydration clause? Is that something you're willing to get on a phone and discuss how many pounds exactly?
Well, when you're speaking about Debo, you might hear a whole lot of that's inconsistent with things that you say about normal fighters. When you talk about a generational talent like Dev, you would expect those that are elite to look to have, to be on a level playing field. What you weigh is what you weigh, and how you get down the next day is, it's what it's all about, and that's what that.
Stevenson's team argues that such clauses are necessary, especially when moving up in weight, to avoid huge size differences. Bill Haney's refusal could delay or even stop the fight from happening. Trainer Wally Moses explains that rehydration rules prevent one fighter from gaining too much weight after weigh-ins, keeping the match fair.
Now, he came up there with the aspect like he's a really big guy, but he's not a really big guy, so I don't want to think he got so much power and he's so strong, he's not no killer. You see him? Seem like a killer to you? Not to me, so.
Former world champion Tim Bradley believes Stevenson is on his way to becoming one of boxing's biggest stars, maybe even more famous than Terence Crawford. While Crawford was an elite fighter, he didn't fully connect with mainstream fans. Stevenson, however, is active on social media, visible to fans, and confident in interviews. Bradley thinks this could make Stevenson one of the defining faces of boxing in the next era.
About Shakur and his I would say projection, the irony is it's crazy because, back when, I was helping somewhat mentoring Terence Crawford, Terence Crawford surpassed everything I done did and more. Interesting enough, Terence Crawford mentor Shakur. And Terrence Crawford is on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, he is, for sure. But I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford.